Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the SimZone once more. We are here for round 6. I forgot what round it was. Round 6 of the PS5 GT3 Championship at Kyalami this time. And we are almost, well, yeah, we're over halfway into this qualifying session. It's currently Melvin on provisional par 142.940 here. And looks like, if I can switch to him, that would be nice. Looks like BST and NA there setting himself up for another lap. Colin brother here coming up towards, well, it looks like he's just started a lap in fact, but he is over well, nearly 2/10 quicker than BST and NA in this qualifying session. And in fact, we've got the top 10 just separated by a second there. Well, even top 11, Big Dasmo, only a second back. Looks like he's enjoying this track here, Kyalami. You know, throughout the season he's been towards the back of the pack, but here he seems to, well, he seems to be gelling with this track so far. Looks like Schurman here has just improved into P2. Goes Schurman, and just a 10th off of Melvin, well, off of Colin Brother there as well. Looking down, it looks like we've got the number 24 car about to cross the line. That is Big Dasmo once again. If we can switch to him, nope. Into the pits goes Dasmo. Sayers here in the Lexus, currently in P12. Looks like he's got, I believe that's fednad, just out in front. And he is in the final sector here, so not many corners left to go for Sayers. Let's see if you can find any more time on this lap. These two will be the next two to cross the line. Oh no, he's made a huge mistake there. A lot of oversteer on the exit there for Sayers, so that's his lap invalidated. Fednad's still yet to set a lap. He doesn't have a qualifying ban. I thought he did, but that was our fault. So he is able to set a lap here, is Fednad. Let's see what it's going to be as he crosses the line. P17 there for Fednad. Still got time to improve that, but you can see, I believe that's 8 drivers in the pits at the moment. That's mixed with reserves and of course drivers who have qualifying bans as well. Colin Brothers still on, oh, he's lost the car there, looks like. Still on provisional pole. He's returned the car to the pits as well. Schurman currently in P2, approaching the penultimate corner. Now this is a very tricky corner that we may see a few accidents in this race. And has he gone wide? I'm not too sure if that's invalid or not. It may have been invalid, but let's see as he crosses the line here if he's found any improvement or not. No, he hasn't, so I believe it was, it looked to be invalid. He did clip a bit of the grass on the exit. BSTNA has entered the final sector. No, he hasn't yet, sorry. He's still got a bit to go. Coming through the S's now. But yeah, currently sitting in P4. Looks like LJ has gone on pole here. 142.7 from LJ. We saw him take the win at Watkins Glen, and he's found some pace here at Kyalami. And wow, that was quite unexpected from LJ, but he's really stepped up his game here in the second half of the season. And he's on the ball at the moment. Let's see if he can find any more time in this qualifying session. Schurman is entering the final sector now, but let's see the number 70 car, or well, actually, where is BSTNNA? If you can switch to him. He's just started another lap. Where's the number 70 car? That is Nyman here, also known as Edinomainen. You may have known him, but of course for our patrons we allow real names, which is great, a great feature we can do on console. Becoming closer and closer to PC, which is great to see. We've got a few comments coming in. We've got Lee, who's out on track, I believe, at the moment. We've got Penny in the comments, who's also out on track. TFJ, good evening. Deedee, good evening. And yeah, Simo, good evening as well. How are you guys doing? Thanks for tuning in once more. Let's see. We got the top. What's this now? The top 8. It's just separated by 5/10. The top 9 within a second of each other. Oh, and Van Roy here in P9, also known as SVW. I will let you guys know, for those that are watching, what their PlayStation names were as well, just so you can recognize who they are. And look, Packham here into P2, so he's improved. That's Lager in P2. Sherman is Hooschii. He's currently running in P3 at the moment, coming through the S's now up towards the hairpin. Now coming into this round, we're going to take a quick look at the standings. So coming into this round, it's currently Colin Brother leading the championship on 283 points after taking a win at Zolder last round. BST NNA in P2 on 244 points, so 39 points separating the top 2 here, and of course there's still a drop round to go. Besselink in P3 on 220 points, Viper in P4 on 213, Van der Haven, who is not here today, is on 183 points, Bad to Bones in P6 on 181 points, Kerwin in P7 on 180 points, Oli Arasa in P8 on 161 points, LJ in P9 on 156 points, and to round off the top 10, Walker in P10, who took a podium, his first podium last time at Zolder, and he's on 145 points, so still very, very close in this championship. And we are in the penultimate round as well, so just one more round to go after this, and the final round being at Indianapolis, I believe, as well. So a track that we haven't really visited much yet. This is our second season on PS5, I believe. Yeah, should be our second season. So still very new to this platform, but look at this, BST NNA. Just he's carried too much speed there, but it looks like he's going to return to the pits anyways. His qualifying session over, but look at that, the top 2 separated just by 300ths, and the top 6 all in the pits now. It's going to be very, very close, this race. Walker currently in P7, actually qualifying, which is great to see, because P7 is a good place to start. He feels confident in the dry with the Audi. We know the Audi is a very good car at Kyalami as well as the Porsche, of course, which is currently sitting P2. But yeah, Walker feeling confident in the dry, not so confident in the wet with the Audi, but it could be dry for the whole race. We don't know. It may even be fully wet, but we are expecting some mixed conditions, similar to what we had at Misano on PC for the Moza Racing GT3 Championship, and similar to what we had last round at Zolder as well. But that's the qualifying session over. LJ and Pearl, BST NNA in P2, and Packham in P3. We'll be back very shortly for the race, so make sure to stick with us. Here we go then, onto the formation lap. Now, don't be fooled by the weather. Of course, it says optimum and sunny now, but it could easily start raining in this race. We saw a similar thing at Misano for the Moser Racing GT3 Championship as well, where it pretty much started completely dry, and then halfway throughout the race, or just before the pit window opened, it started to rain very heavily. So a similar thing could definitely happen here as well. We just don't know what the weather's going to do. We just have to wait and see. And for the drivers, some of them are going to be a bit upset with what the weather is at the moment. But yeah, they could still be in for some rain. And it is a whole hour race. The time multiplier is on 3 as well. So pretty much 3 hours of weather. There's definitely chances of rain. And in fact, it looks like the sun is already starting to go away. So they might even be in for some rain very shortly. But as we saw in qualifying, LJ putting it on pole. And he's going to be very happy with himself. I know there's some supporters for him. He said he's got some friends or family watching the broadcast. So of course, if you are watching now, be sure to say hello in the comments and show your support for Leon here in P1 at the moment. BSTN and A at P2, these two separated by just under a tenth. And Packham in P3, who was just a tenth back as well. So it's going to be extremely close, and it's going to be very, very competitive. You can see there the sun has gone, and it's already getting darker here, so they may be expecting some rain shortly. But let's have a quick read of the comments. We've got Dale in the comments. Good to see you, mate. He's showing his support for Packham. Adam as well, also known as Kingy, for those of you who don't know. Can't wait to join in. Yeah, it would be great to have you back out on track as soon as possible. Of course, Tekalita, good to see you as well. Lockdown saying he's nervous. Hiroth currently in P16 at the moment. We've got the drivers lining up 2 by 2 now. And of course, at this time of year, Kyalami is still very, very warm. So 27 degrees ambient and 31 degrees track. Now, if it does start raining, it's going to take some time for the track to get completely wet. We're just going to have to wait and see here what the weather gods have in stock for us. I don't know if any of the drivers have done their rain dance before. I know Besselink, who's currently in P6, has done his rain dance. I think we might have to get him to do a rain dance and stream at some point. But here we go, drivers rounding off the final corner. Now let's see who is going to get the jump into turn 1. We know the Porsche very good off the starts here. We're going to go green very, very shortly. And we are green, there we go. LJ off to a good start, likewise BSTNNA, so many cars there. We're going to go 3 wide, 4 wide maybe in the background as well. There's lots of room on this start finish straight, and this turn 1 can be a huge bottleneck. Looks like Packham trying to move down the inside, but mounting the curb there, nowhere to go for him really, and looks like he might have to back out there. Showman's made the move up into P3, but looks like everyone has got through cleanly, which is great to see. Looks like Colin Brandon slightly wide there on the exit, fending off Ibanez, who is up into, what's that, P5, P6? No, he's dropping down the order now, is Ibanez. Looks like he got a poor exit there, and the timetable's shuffling around like normal. In fact, let's quickly get rid of... there we go, rid of that huge Kyalami sign. That's better. And yeah, looks like everyone has got through cleanly in the background. We've got a few cars going side by side here. I believe that's Dasmo, who was side by side with Martinez, also known as Ibanez. No, not Ibanez, sorry, Ifan. Even I'm struggling with these names, but Kerwin here, Kenny, as we know him, currently running in P10, fending off Martinez here. Big Dasmo still in the background, fending off. Is that Sayers up into P14? Yes, it is. He's got the move done on Bats Bones. There we go. Bats Bones down into P15. Now we've got drivers, cars all over the grid, and a move from Sayers down the inside on Dasmo. Dasmo's left him the room. They're going to be side by side here. Now this next corner, this right-hander, very tricky to go side by side. And looks like Sayers has backed out that very sensibly there. Good driving, good thinking from says. It looks like we've got someone wide in the background. Was that Jaram? Yes, it was. Very, very wide onto the grass, and that's a really tricky corner, like I was saying. But it looks like Yaroslav round the outside of the final corner. It's going to be a drag race coming down towards turn 1, but I think the Lamborghini is going to have the legs on the straight here, especially with following in the slipstream, and Jaram going very wide there. He's thinking about defending the first corner. Looks like he's tried to fight back, but fednad is going to have a better exit out of turn 1. Looks like he is a bit wide on exit though, and that might allow GT3 to get this move done. But this first sector, oh, a bit of bumping there, but this first sector, very, very narrow. There's not a huge amount of room to overtake. Turn 1 is probably the best opportunity, and GT Jamie currently in P23, of course. Well, looks like he's got a bit of damage on that Honda already. And oh, we've got a Lexus facing the wrong way, reversing there. That's not good to see. Who is that Lexus? Is it P. Mitch? I think it is. He's got the car going around the right way now, but something there happened to P. Mitch, unfortunately. Viper in P18 currently with a bit of damage on that front end as well, but looks like almost going 3 wide here up towards the hairpin. What's this corner name? I can't quite remember. Is it? Yeah, I'm not going to pronounce that. I know what it is. I'm not going to pronounce it at all. But looks like Viper still in. No. Down in P22, in fact, so not P18 anymore, so he's lost quite a few positions. Must have had a bit of an incident, maybe, with P. Mitch earlier on. But let's go back. I don't want to go back to the leaders just yet. Looks like GT3 here trying for a move as well, but he's going to go slightly wide. That's going to allow Viper to gain a position, maybe of an Ollie RSR. It looks like Ollie's got... No, doesn't have any damage. That was just the reflection, I think. Contentnow, new driver here at the SimZone. New patron as well, joined us and straight away became a patron, so we really appreciate that. But BSTNNA has taken the race lead. LJ's down into P3, Sherman's up into P2 now, and we have got some crazy battling going on here. It's pretty much P2 to P6, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars all battling here. So it's P2 to P9 all battling, and who's that? Packham slightly wide there on the exit of Sunset. Now coming up towards the S's, this section of the track very, very tricky, but still an optimum track, so no rain forecasted just yet. And Van Roy not too far off of this train either. He's pretty much involved in this battle. Having a look down the inside there. SVW a bit late on the brakes. But look at this train we've got. Crazy racing between all of these guys at the moment. And Packham, no, sorry, LJ trying a move here. Oh no, Cornbrander down the inside of LJ. So LJ down into P4, and Cornbrander up a position here to see it on board with LJ at the moment. Coming up towards the final corner now. A bit of curb on the inside. Still no rain forecasted just yet. I'm getting quite nervous here because I know the drivers are going to be complaining that, oh, we've had rain in the lobbies, but there's no rain today. Who knows, it can still rain later on in the race. It's only 6 minutes in. It feels a lot longer than that, but it's not. But let's have a look here. A bit wide on the exit. You have to be careful here. LJ losing the car, and looks like, oh, he's made contact. Was that with Packham? I think it is Packham. Oh, and Ibanez and Walker facing the wrong way around there. I'm not sure LJ could have done much. He did slam on the brakes, and he looks like he's got the car facing the... No, he's not got the car facing the right way now. Ibanez with huge amounts of damage here. Really unfortunate for Ibanez, struggling to get the car around there, so it might have to be a very early pit stop here for Ibanez, and looks like GT3 into the pits now as well. Oh, he's picked up some heavy damage. LJ with some heavy damage as well. And it's just part of racing, unfortunately. LJ did, from what we saw, slam on the... D did get on the anchors, but wasn't enough to stop him moving. So a huge shame, but looking back to Big Dasmo in P8, he's moved up places after that incident. Top 10 for Big Dasmo at the moment is really impressive. I remember him when he first joined us. He was pretty much at the back of the grid, and now to be running towards the front a bit more is really impressive. Sayers very sideways. They're clipping the sausage curve ever so slightly, and he's fallen into the clutches of Dasmo now in the Lamborghini. These two cars very quick on the straights. But we look back to Walker. He's picked up lots of damage as well. Still in P9 though. But yeah, that damage is not going to be helping him whatsoever. Ibanez now in the pits, unsurprisingly. Let's look back to Colin Brandon now, who is losing a bit of time to Schurman there in P2. Yeah, Simo Tekalita, it was a huge crash there. I think... I don't think that's going to go to the stewards. It's pretty much a racing incident. There's nothing any of those drivers could do, unfortunately. Let's look down to GT Jamie, though. Looks like he's got the move done there on Kerwin. Fednad still in this battle as well. Really putting on the pressure there to Kerwin in P12. But, yeah, Jamie's struggling with a bit of... well, carrying a bit of damage, if anything, in the Honda. I believe the only Honda on the grid, but running in P13... You know, the Honda's quite a decent car at Kyalami. But he's a reserve for today, so moving his way up the grid now. I'm not sure if he's struggling. Looks like he is struggling with some connection at the moment, so hopefully he can stay connected. Nyman here in P11, only a few tenths off of Barth Bones here. But surprisingly, no signs of rain just yet. But look at the clouds. They're sure to be carrying some water here. And oh no, that's Dasmo rejoining the circuit. Luckily, those two missed him. And looks like we've got that's Jaramov in the background. Now this corner is catching a lot of drivers out. That sausage curve on the inside and the exit. If you hit that sausage curve on the inside, the car bounces and pretty much loses traction, and the rear comes around, and that's pretty much game over. It sends you either side, and that's looks like what happened to Jaram. So he's picked up some damage. Luckily, it's not severe, but down into P21 he goes. LJ after that incident in P23. He was running in the top 3 before that incident. I hope that wasn't the commentator's curse, because as soon as we went on board with him, yeah, he ended up losing the car. But we go back to Yaroslav. Yaroslav, another reserve for tonight as well. It's now on the back of this train. So we've got Dasmo followed by... No, we've got more cars up ahead. But Dasmo followed by Fednad, then Yaroslav, then Oli Arasa on the back of this train. Then Vipo, who's not far back off either. But let's go on board with Oli Arasa. Here we go, on board with Oli, also known as Pav, as some of you may know him. But had a qualifying round for this round, started towards the back, but up into P16 already. You can see the car bottoming out ever so slightly, coming down. I believe is it Crocodiles? Yes, it's Crocodiles. Oh, Mineshaft and then Crocodiles, really. Yeah, it's great to see the sparks, and I think towards the end of this race we are gonna be in the dark. Olias sticking with this pack ahead of him, slightly wide out of the final corner, but he's going to need to stay in the slipstream here. In fact, he might be out of the slipstream range now. He's lost a lot of time in that final corner, but if the drivers ahead continue to battle, and Yaroslav going for a late move down the inside into turn 1. Looks like he's going to make that stick. Fednad fighting back on the exit, but no, looks like he got a bit of oversteer. Maybe the traction control kicked in. So Yaroslav up a position now into P14, and Oli SR with those two battling has caught up, a bit squirrely on the exit there. That's where we saw LJ lose the car earlier on. But oh, looks like there's been contact. Dasmo has lost the car there on the exit. And what's happened to Dasmo? Did he make contact or did he lose the car? He's got it going once again. Oh, that's very, very heavy damage I'm not sure he's going to be able to make it to the pits with the amount of damage he's got at the moment. And who's that behind? Is that Sherman who's come through? No, it's not. It's another McLaren. Aston JB, I believe it is. Yes, it's Aston, who isn't in an Aston, but he's moved up a position as a result. And that's such a shame there for Dasmo. Let's go back to P3 and, well, P2, P3 and P4, all in this battle for a podium here. Oh, in this battle for P2, in fact. And unfortunately, I think Packham has retired with the car. Got severe damage. Yeah, Dale in the comments saying Packham's dead. Unfortunately, he did. Well, he had nowhere to go really. It's just part and parcel of racing. Unfortunately, luckily we're on the sim and there was no damage. No, oh, we've had contact once again. That corner, really bad. Now these two came together at Watkins Glen, and Jamie has lost the car on the exit. What, in the same place that that LJ lost the car, and is he going to retire? I'm not sure. I'm not even sure if he can continue going, but he's kept the car stopped on the track. I think he's gonna have to wait for the other cars to go past before he can get going again, but no, he's still stopped on the track. And yep, looks like it is a retirement there for GT Jamie. And that corner proving really difficult for the drivers here, and we're only in the dry in this race, but it looks like Ollie RSR trying a move here on Cohen round the outside. Doesn't look like he's going to have enough of an overlap to get this move done, but coming up towards Crocodile, he has the inside line. He needs to be later on the brakes to make this stick. Cohen trying it round the outside, leaving Ollie the space, and looks like one of these two are going to have to back out here coming up towards Cheetah, because this is going to end in tears. If not, they've gone through side by side. Great racing between these two, but as a result of battling that hard, Viper and Fednad have caught up once more. So we go on board here with the Porsche of Fednad. Now he's going to lose a bit of time on the straight. We know the Porsche's not the quickest here, especially compared to the cars that he's got ahead of him. Ferrari, Bentley, and another Ferrari. But he's still well involved in this battle, and the Ferrari and the Porsche can just brake so much later into turn one. You can see he's already on the back of Viper, and that's with braking really early. But still no signs of rain just yet. And we've got the pit window opening in about 5 minutes. But oh, Fednad very wide here. This curb on the exit of Sunset, very deadly, but looks like didn't cause any troubles for Fednad. Let's go back on board with Ollie RSR now. Oh, he's sticking with Kerwin here. Now we've got the onboards up as well. Top right hand corner is Yaroslav, who's currently running in P10. Bottom right is Colin Brother. He is currently in P3, fending off Veselink at the moment, losing a bit of time to Sherman in front by battling. But Sherman's slightly wide there in the final corner. And looks like the gap is still going to stay about 7/10 between Colin Brother and Sherman, so still within a second, those three. Very close between those drivers. And a good exit out the penultimate corner from Ollie RSR. He needs to get a very good exit out the final corner here on the curb. Cohen there with a bit of oversteer on the exit, and Ollie RSR is going to have the slipstream now. Cohen might have to go defensive coming up towards turn one, because look at the closing speed from the Bentley behind. Could he send it into turn one? He's thinking about it, but oh, is he going to go for it? Looks like Cohen has left him the space on the inside, but that Bentley just doesn't like being hooked on the curbs there. You see there the traction control just kicking in as soon as you get on those massive curves. And once again, a bit swirly on the exit for Ollie RSR, but he's really putting on the pressure now to Kerwin. Coming through Sunset. Trailbreaking slightly on the entry. And then wanting on the exit. So easy to go wide through Sunset, but as we saw, these two had no issues whatsoever. And I bet they're able to mount these curves, but doesn't look like it's coming in handy for OliRSR. Traction control is really kicking in as he mounts those curves. And now down through Mineshaft. You see their sparks flying from the back of Kerwin's car. He's still very, very close, but they're not really making any mistakes. They're very even on pace at the moment, but I think the closest to OliRSR has been for a move on Kerwin was last lap into turn 1. It doesn't look like he's going to be close enough this time around. A better exit there for Kerwin, so we will switch to this battle that's going on here. Looks like P-Mitch on the back of LJ now. I believe LJ's got past P-Mitch, and looks like he may be going defensive here, trying to get the slipstream of Jaram just in front. And I believe, no, Nyman's still out on track, but how is he driving with that damage? I'm really surprised, but it's probably the best thing to do because the pit window only opens in less than a couple minutes. And in fact, Dasmo driving with that damage as well, so these two kept it out on track, which, yeah, has been probably the smartest thing to do. They don't want to make 2 pit stops. But, yeah, props to them for keeping it out on track, keeping it going. And, yeah, making the right call, to be honest, for these two. Let's look back to LJ, who's catching up to Jaram now. He's pulling away from P-Mitch, even with that damage. He's catching up to Jaram, as I said. Looks like Colin Brando's still very, very close to Sherman as well. Let's have a look at their gaps. Looks like, no, Besselink is still very, very close as well. Van Roy in P5. He's gained so many positions off the start. Walker there in P6. Martinez in P7 as well. A bit of a gap between these two, but we could see them closing in on each other shortly, of course, if they don't pit. Kerwin, looks like, oh, OliRSR has got the move done on Kerwin. So didn't catch that. There's so much going on here. But Viper still on the back of Kerwin as well. Fednad losing a bit of time now to these two. Gap says 8/10. Looks to be about that. But yeah, Viper is reeling them in. Now Viper had a strong, very strong showing. I believe... Actually, let's have a look. Viper had a strong showing at Mizano there, finishing P1. Joaquin Slen finishing P2. Pota, he would have finished P1, but unfortunately, I think he pitted for... or made a mistake in the pit stops. And dropped down to, I think it was around P18. And LJ now on the back of Jam here, putting on the pressure here, trying to get this move done. We've got Jojo Peter John out into the pits for mandatory stop. And yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to rain, so, well, at the moment, because the sun's going back out. That's very possible. Well, we had a 33% chance of it being mixed, 33% chance of it being fully dry, and 33% chance of it being fully wet, so, yeah, pretty much a third. And yeah, I don't think enough drivers did the rain dance this race. You never know. It could still rain very shortly, and I'm hoping it does, because it would really throw a spanner into the works for the drivers, especially for those who've already pitted. But it looks like LJ diving into the pits now. And we'll switch back to Viper, who is not really closing the gap to Kerwin in front. So after OliRSR got that move done, he's pulled away a 1.5 seconds here. Now let's bring up this battle as well between Colin Branda and Sherman and Besselink. These three still neck and neck. They're very, very even on pace as well. They've not been catching or pulling away from each other. Goes to show how even they are at the moment. Looks like we're off only a second in front of Adram. So has he lost the car, or is he just losing time here to Adram? Currently running in P16, which is a good position to be in. And now I know Piroth wanted there to be rain, so yeah, he's in a bit of a, well, I wouldn't say a bad situation, but he's not where he wants to be. He did wish for it to rain. He said he was quicker in the rain as well. But it looks like Jeremy in the background a bit wide there on entry. That's going to allow Piroth to keep that second gap, possibly. Let's see what it is now. No, 8/10 between the two, so Jeremy is closing in. Nevertheless, Walker into the pits now for his mandatory stop, and now looks like the race leaders are catching up to some traffic. I believe that is Contentnow, who's currently in P20. There we go, moving out well out of the way for the lead cars, which is great to see. TFJ saying that's amazing driving with that damage. Yeah, unbelievable how they've kept it around the track, but they have pitted now. So Nyman in the has served his mandatory pit stop. Big Dasmo has also just served his mandatory pit stop. He should be out of the pits shortly. There we go. He's out of the pits now. And let's go to Fednad, who's only half a second back to Aston JB here. I believe Aston's got that move done on Fednad. I may be wrong. But we still got this battle going on for P2. Look how close these three are. It's just been a bit of a snake train between these three. They've not really been overtaking each other or defending too hard. But look how close in the background. Oh, Besselink very sideways there. Looks like he cooked the curb on the inside. That's lost him some time. And it looks like Sherman a bit wide there through the penultimate corner, but wanting to stay well clear of of that sausage curb on the inside. Let's take that music off. Yeah, really want you to stay clear of that sausage curb on the inside, which is probably the best thing to do. But looks like he's now slightly defensive into turn one. Conban not close enough to go for a move though, so Sherman can take his normal racing line. And it looks like Fednad still sticking with Aston JB. He's going to have the slipstream coming into turn one, but he's not close enough, and with the Porsche's straight line speed, they're absolutely horrible. He doesn't look like he is. Doesn't look like he's able to really get a run into turn one to make a move. Go to Yaroslav in P9, who's now side by side here with Sayers. Sayers defending that position there in P8. Yaroslav's really trying to go for a move here. And it looks like Yaroslav down the inside here through the S's. Almost making contact there, but look, he backed out of that and bottoming out ever so slightly on the exit. They've got Oliar now behind them, who was 1.6 seconds back, but with these two battling, he's super close now. And let's get an onboard of Ollie once again, and there we go. We are sunset now. Look at the scenery. I mean, I'm not sure how the drivers don't get distracted with this scenery here. Ollie just waiting in the wings for these two to trip over each other. Yes, I'm looking at the inside there, not really a corner, go for an overtaking. But is Yaroslav going to damage the pits? No! Sayers and Yaroslav both into the pits. That's going to leave Yaroslav into clean air, which is exactly what he wants. Because Sayers and Yaroslav are going to start fighting each other on the exit as well. And Yaroslav could easily go for an overcut here on those two. He's going to have to focus on putting in the laps And we'll see, once he makes his pit stop, where he emerges. Let's look down to LJ and P-Mitch. P-Mitch has actually got past LJ. I believe LJ's repaired his damage. That's why P-Mitch has come out ahead on the pit stops. Yes, he has, and he's going to try around the outside through Sunset Corner. That's a very brave move to make. A bit of contact between the two, and LJ into the wall once more. Tried it around the outside, but it didn't work for him, and he's picked up even more damage. What a shame there for LJ. I don't think he's going to be happy with that one bit. It's always a risk trying to go around the outside there through Sunset. We go back to Viper, who's closed the gap to Sayers with a stop go 30 as well. Looks like he's sped into the pits, so he's going to drop right down the order after serving that penalty. We've got Eye for an Eye and Jaram into the pits as well. Jam with a stop go 30 now as well for speeding in the pits. And this pit entry, we warned the drivers of this pit entry in the briefing. But it is a very, very tricky entry here into the pits at Kyalami, and it's definitely caught a few drivers out, unfortunately. And be sure to support the stream. There is a pinned link in the comments as well, especially if you're enjoying it. It does help us out massively with continuing these broadcasts for the drivers, and of course you viewers who are enjoying these broadcasts. Looks like Contentnow, Eye for an Eye back out on track. Contentnow still yet to serve his mandatory pit stop. Looks like Batterbones in the pits as well. Viper and Cohen separated just by a few tenths here. Viper, it's not 5 tenths anymore. They're sitting much closer as we speak. Now as well, be sure to like the stream. There's 21 people watching. Make sure to hit that like button and sub if you are new as well. Looks like that is Contentnow getting well out of the way once again, which is lovely to see. If I can switch to him, there we go. But looks like that is Aston, I believe. He's coming past now. Fednad not far behind either. Viper still in the back of Curtin, but Curtin holding on his own here. And we are now into the dark pretty much with half an hour of the race left to go. Now please, I hope it rains once the pit window is closed, because that's really going to make things interesting if it starts to rain as well. Doesn't really look like it will. Oh wait, no, it will. Yes, it will. And that's going to rain when the pit window closes, which is exactly what I want. So maybe the weather god's listening to us. Someone's been doing the rain dance, which is good. It definitely wasn't me.
We are halfway through. Keep pushing.
But we're going to have some rain, and it might even get heavier. But let's hope it does, because the driver's going to have to make a second pit stop if it starts getting heavier. And if the drivers at the front are going to pit later, of course, and they might stop and pit for the wets if it starts to get heavier. But for now, it's still slicks. So we could have, definitely could have, half the race being dry and the second half being wet. But we're just going to have to wait and see here. And rain in the dark at Kyalami is really going to make things interesting. But it looks like Walker has got that move done on Batterbones on the exit of the final corner there. And Batterbones not able to fight back. But these three, Walker, Batterbones and Yaroslav, all in a bit of a battle here. We, of course, had Oliasar, who's now come out of the pit stops just ahead of Walker here, so he's just ahead of this train, and we saw Oliasar behind Yaroslav before the pit stops, and he's jumped him there in the pits. So very, very good strategic call from Oliasar not to follow them in. It looks like Sherman and Besseling both into the pits now, and that leaves oh, where's Colin Brander? Oh, Colin Brander's already pitted as well, so that is going to leave BSTNNA out on track in P1. Cohen is probably going to move up as well if he doesn't pit. Likewise as Viper and Aston JB. TFJ saying, what are you, a weather god? I think so. I somehow predicted that. But I think they're listening to us. They're definitely listening to us. But we got Pavel, I believe it's Pavel, I don't know how to say it, or I know it's Ibanez, so I think, saying, come on Cody, currently running a P6 at the moment, Besselink, they're still in the back of, oh, in fact, no, I thought he had that move done, but looks like Colin Brother around the outside here of Sherman, and come on cameraman, switch, there we go, and it looks like Colin Brothers got the move done after the pit stops. And up a position he goes, so that will be net P2 after the rest have done their pit stops. Esselik's still in this battle as well. So these three have been battling since the start. Now, will the rain mix things up for these three? Who knows? It might separate them, or it might even bring the drivers into the pits once more, but we'll just have to wait and see, like I said. Looks like Piroth now into the pits. Bit sideways there for Besselink coming through the S's. Jaja Peter Jai into the pits once more, which is a shame. Looks like I think he's retired the car. Contentnow into the pits for his mandatory pit stop. Piroth is leaving the pits now. Who's he going to be side by side and exit with? Looks like it's going to be LJ. LJ, is he going to pass him? No, it's a Lamborghini. No, it's not. It is LJ. Coming up towards turn 1. Yep, and LJ's got that move done, or that position gained on Piroth. And looking down to P18, eye for an eye on the back of Sayers here. Of course, Sayers had his stop go 30. But a lovely livery there from eye for an eye. Pretty much the well, the Mercedes colours that you usually see. It is definitely a nice livery from Eye for an Eye, who's got Nyman not too far back, about 6 seconds back there. And Nyman has repaired his damage, still in P19 though after repairing that damage, so he isn't too far off, but was of course running much further up the order. Now looks like Walker, Olyarsa, Yaroslav still in this battle. Kerwin dropping down the order now after serving his mandatory pit stop. Let's see where he comes out on track. The rain still yet to come, and Walker with a late move down the inside. Olyarsa is not going to leave him any room there. Of course, he's entitled to close the door, and Walker backed out of that move, but as a result, he's forced himself to now have to defend against Yaroslav, who's got a great exit there out of, I believe it's turn 4, turn 5, and coming up to Sunset. Is he going to look down the inside? He is trying for it, but it's not really a heavy braking zone. Don't really see any moves here through Sunset Corner. Sparks flying there from Olyarsa just up ahead. Now we've got Aston, JB and Viper just separated by 610 series. Oh no, JB into the pits. Viper's still out on track. I think he's just deciding, well, he's going long, he's in clean air, but he may also be deciding what tyres to go with the rain coming in 10 minutes. Oh, looks like Martinez has lost connection. He says his internet has failed him, which is a real shame. He was running such a good race. Was Martinez. But let's have a look at Yaroslav here. Get his onboard up as well. There we go, you can see trying for a move, well, trying for a better exit on Walker there. Is he going to get it done? Doesn't look like he's going to get done there on the exit, but into turn 1, no, looks like he's running a lot more wing than the Audi, because even after that bad exit from Walker in front, he is pulling away on the straight, and going for a really late defensive line is Walker. Holds on there to P8 for now, and defending once again into this left-hander. That's going to get him a really bad exit, and Yaroslav closing right up to the back of him. Once again, they're going to be side by side, coming up towards Sunset Corner, and surely Yaroslav's going to have to back out of this move. Or is he going to try it around the outside? Doesn't look like he is. So Walker holds on to that position, but extremely close racing between these two, which is lovely to see. And Viper now into the pits for his mandatory stop. I'd like to switch drivers. There we go. Besselink, Sherman, and Conrad are still in this battle. Now, there we go. Rain in 3 minutes. This is not going to mean the track's... the track's not going to stay optimum for long. It's going to go possibly to greasy, then maybe to damp once the rain gets heavier. But if it does get really, really heavy, we might start seeing some drivers into the pits. And Besselink trying a move there on Sherman, down the inside into turn 1. But look how close they are, bumper to bumper, almost pushing each other around the exit. But Sherman able to take his normal line. So no problems there for him. Viper dropping down the order now. I thought he pitted already, did Viper? Or is he still in the pits? Is it going to let me switch drivers? Oh, looks like he's... Oh, yeah, he's been dropped from the jacks now. There we go. So he has served his stop. And there he goes out of the pits. Where is Aston, who is battling with early? I can't switch drivers. What's going on? Aston is... Oh, into turn 1. So Viper's lost a lot of time there in the pit stops. We go back to this battle for P2 essentially. We've still got Yaroslav on the back of Walker as well. We've got Prof saying, oh wait, where is Prof actually? He's on track in P16. He was saying earlier, slow going into the pits to try to select strategy 2. I assume that's because of the rain, and it's going to get heavier as well, which is exactly what we want, which is great to see. And now the question is, will the drivers try and long it out to the end, or will they dive into the pits for wet tyres? Don't know. But at the moment, the rain doesn't look like it's going to be heavy enough for wet tyres. But if it continues to get heavier, then we may see some very, very tricky conditions towards the end of this race. But no, it doesn't look like it's going to get heavier just yet. Come on, weather gods. We need the rain to be heavy in just a few minutes. Michael Races in the comments, good to see you, saying Besselink the GOAT. Yeah, he is running in P4 at the moment. Obviously, another RKM driver is Besselink. You're all slightly wide there on the exit of Sunset. That curb can be really, really deadly, but the BMW not having any problems with it just yet. And, oh, looks like, well, weather god's a bit confused at the moment. It says plus rain and then minus in 10 minutes, so...
The window is now closed.
Yeah, no, we want that to be plus and plus, but yeah, we will see rainfall in just a moment. Looks like there is already rain falling on the track. It's so hard to see in the dark, but I'm sure if you go on board... Oh, let's try and go on board here with... oh, no, we don't need to go on board with Besselink. He's looking for a move down the inside of Sherman. They're side by side here, almost making contact. There's nothing separating between them. Besselink trying for a move. He's going to have to back out of this. There you go, onto the brakes. And Sherman holds onto that position, but they're losing time to Conrad up in P2. But yeah, looks like Yaroslav's got his wiper on, and there is precipitation on his windscreen there. So it's definitely raining now. And the track's already gone to fast. So even with this little amount of rain, track condition is changing. Oh, looks like it is going to get heavier than rain. So we've got a whole 18 minutes, which will be, well, with the time multiplier, 3 times that, pretty much. But it looks like we got another battle going on. Yes, I've lost a bit of time there to Walker and Olia. I saw there's so many battles going on at the moment. And Besselink slightly wide there once again. But we just got so many battles going on. I don't know who to look at. We've got the Oliver and Walker still battling for position here as well. Track's now greasy. It's gone from fast straight to greasy, and Walker there suffering already with the change of conditions. Bit of oversteer on the exit, and we know he doesn't like these conditions in the Audi. He really doesn't like the Audi in the wet. He says it's absolutely horrible in the wet. I know it's not the best car in the wet, but he really does struggle with it. Although he did pick up a P3 at Zolder, which was in fact wet as well. But he's losing time now to Yaroslav behind. This could easily turn into a damp track very, very quickly. And it looks like even on the exit of the S's, Yaroslav's going to pull on the outside. Walker's on the inside here, but Yaroslav's going to try around the outside here. He needs to be early on the power, but it looks like he's got nowhere to go. Walker on the grass, that's really dangerous there. That grass, once it gets wet, will easily throw you to the left of the track. Totally not talking from experience, but you know, it can easily throw you to the left if you get a wheel onto the grass. But luckily it hasn't been raining too hard, so Walker was able to keep it on the black stuff, but he's really not having to fend off Yaroslav here. Let's look up to P4. Looks like a Besselik's got that move done on Sherman. I'd love to be able to look at the replays on console, well, more easily, but just have to stick with what we have at the moment. Looks like the rain's going to stop in 10 minutes. No, we don't want that. We don't want that. We want more rain. Someone in the comments, please, if you could do the rain dance right now, that would be much appreciated. But a little bit of oversteer on the exit for Sherman as well. Once again, the greasy conditions catching a few drivers out. And let's look down to... Nope, am I going to be able to change? There we go. Looks like eye for an eye into the pits. Contentnow into the pits as well. Now, have they either picked up... are they changing tyres? They won't be changing tyres here, but there's no need. It's only a greasy track. Even damp track, you can stay on slicks. And it's going to dry up in 10 minutes as well, so pitting was not the right choice for them, unfortunately. Jam currently in P18, Dasmo in P17. Let's see if we've got any other closer battles going on. Kerwin on the back of Fednad. Now, Kerwin was battling with Viper, but he's lost lots of time in the pits as Kerwin. Viper's in P11 at the moment, and in fact he was behind Kerwin, so he's lost quite a lot of time as Kenny in the pits, but Viper's not far up the road whatsoever. Yaroslav's still on the back of Walker, and Walker's gone wide there on the exit of the penultimate corner. He's going to have to go defensive here coming up towards the final corner. Yaroslav going around the outside. Contentnow, sorry, with a stop go 30, and Yaroslav has got that move done around the outside. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, well, that was a bit anticlimactic, but he's got the move done around the outside. And what a move there from Yaroslav, wanting to get a replay up. But, of course, it didn't work. What are the odds? And yeah, Walker really struggling in these conditions, like I said earlier. And he's lost the car on the exit. Can he keep it out of the barriers? Yes, he can. But he's going to lose... no, it looks like that's Jerem, who is a lap down, but he's not going to pass Walker anyways. But yeah, he's really struggling in these conditions now, which is a bit of a shame. He was running really high up the order, but that's what these conditions do. And in fact, now Besseling catching up to Colin Brother as well. These three still battling together. This is exactly what we want to be watching at the moment. LJ now to the pits. What's happened to LJ? It looks like Colin Brother going defensive. Can Besseling go for a switchback? Doesn't look like it. These three are neck and neck, and I think we're going to have to go on board with Sherman here. He's got a lovely view of this battle just up ahead, but it is a shame that we're not getting heavier rain. It's going to go dry once again. Oh, it's gone damp now as the track. So it doesn't matter, the track has gone damp, even though the rain is starting to settle down ever so slightly. But TFJ saying Sayers crashed again with Lyman. Oh. Have they now? So, where is Lyman? Has he retired the car? I believe he has. The Sayers in P19. Yeah, Lyman nowhere to be seen at the moment, which is unfortunate. We've got King Adam in the comments saying great drive from the back from Oli RSR. Yeah, he's had, I mean, he had a qualifying man up to P5, which is absolutely amazing. A great drive from of course, but I think he's just got that move done on Van Roy there in P6. They're not separated by much in Contentnow into the pits for his stop go 30, I believe. This battle's still going on strong. And Barth Sherman onto the grass, onto the curb as well. As soon as you get onto that curb, there's no way you're stopping the car. And I need to stop going on board with people because that's exactly what happens. Do I go on board with Besselink? Comments or viewers? What do we think? Chat? Even what do we do? I really want to go on board with Besselink here because it's such a great battle. I don't want to put the commentator's curse on them. Or do I go on board with Colin Brander on the rear wing? I just don't know what to do here at this point. Looks like the rain, like I said, going to settle down in about 3 minutes. I really wished it did rain, rain a bit more. It looks like Besselink trying for a move here. They're not side by side in the exit just yet. 11 minutes to go, 11 minutes more for Colin Brander to continue defending. Now let's quickly look to oh, what's happened to Van Roy? He's lost a couple of seconds there to Oliver, so he's struggling in these conditions once again. And Yaroslav also starting from the back, up to P7 now, maybe even P6 here on the exit for SVW. There we go. Hold on to P6. For now, we got Batterbones and Aston JB. I just can't get my words out now. Heading them the wrong way around. But yeah, Aston on the back of Batterbones now. These two both in the McLaren, both on slick tyres, I believe. So it's just down to the driver and the setup of the car as well. We know the McLaren a bit sensitive, a bit pitch sensitive as well, and sensitive to setup changes as well as pressures is the McLaren. But they seem to be going around nicely at the moment. Bit of flames there at the back of Aston's car there as they come through sunset. You can see they are actually tiptoeing around the track now. Yeah, I did definitely expect more rain for this race, and I think so did the drivers. But yeah, it's now gone to greasy, so it's gripping up once again into circuit. I'd laugh if it started raining again in about, well, yeah, let's hope it starts raining again. It goes from greasy back to damp and back to wet. And oh, who's that off? I think that's Jerem there in P17 who's off. Yeah, he's got it going once again. And that's what I was talking about. You dip a wheel onto the grass and it sends you into that barrier to the left. Let's go back to Colin Brander and Besselink, who've pulled away from Sherman, but Colin Brander now pulling away from Besselink as well. The gap's nearly a second between these two BMs, and oh, Besselink very sideways there on the exit of Sunset. That could have been race ending there for Besselink, but he's held it together very nicely. Look back to Yaroslav and Van Roy here. They're still neck and neck, and likewise are likewise is Aston and Batterbones. In fact, we'll switch them. We'll bring up the onboards, which will be much easier, so we can watch these two at once. There's so much going on the track. Dale saying you saved all the rain for Wednesday. Yep. Gonna be what's it? Rain at Mazzano on on Wednesday for the IMP Race World Championship. That's going to be a tricky one. I mean, we had rain at Misano for the Moser Racing Championship as well. I mean, that started dry halfway through, or 20 minutes in. It became completely wet, which was what I was hoping to happen for this race. But unfortunately, it didn't. We had a bit of rain, but that was it. But you know, that's it wasn't the forecast that we could have a dry race. And yes, I'm very late on the brakes there, but looks like he's gone a bit too deep in the corner. And likewise has Van Looy there as well. And yes, I've obviously from Ukraine, but it's great to be having him racing with us here at the SimZone. Not long left of the race to go. Track is still greasy here. Still got a bit of rainfall on the circuit, but it's not much at all now. In fact, you can barely even see it. Trackside, at least, on board with Yaroslav, we can see a bit of rain there on the windscreen. But going back to, can I switch cars? Can I switch cars? Oh, I want to switch quickly before we miss something. There we go. Going back to Besselink, who's got past Colin Brander. Besselink is up into P2 now, so we don't know what he's got that move done, but of course it shows him still in P3. No, there we go. Now it's moved into P2. The Besselink up into P2 now. Colin Brander seems to be losing some time in these last few minutes. Track is now greasy, well, still greasy, but the rain has completely stopped. Now, all that Besselink needs to do is hold off Colin Brander. Well, I say, all that he needs to do. It's not easy to hold Colin Brander off one bit. And Besselink may be feeling the pressure now with that timer ticking in almost into the last 5 minutes left of this race. We've got Cohen on the back of Viper once again now. So Cohen, after possibly was what was a bad pit stop, has closed the gap now to Viper. So it's Ferrari versus Ferrari for P11 and P12. Well, between P11 and P12, and it's BMW versus BMW for P2 as well. So we've got quite a few battles going on, but this one between Yaroslav and SVW still going on, although SVW, Van Looy holding on to this position. He's not letting Yaroslav get close enough to go for an overtake. So we'll switch back to the east. Let's go on board with Colin Brander here. Coming up towards Cheetah. Which is the corner where we've seen lots of drivers making mistakes. And turn 3 or 4 as well. That left-hander before you get onto that straight before Sunset Corner is where we've seen lots of drivers running a bit too wide, getting on the power, or staying on the power, and then losing the car and into the barriers as well. And that was very close there between one of the back markers. I believe that was Contentnow, but he moved well out of the way. Now we may see the track go to fast. It always seems to it always seems to go the grip up more, but when it's wet it usually takes much longer for the track to dry up. So it can go from similar to what we saw on Friday at Zolder. It went from like was it green? I don't know. It went from fast optimum or green to optimum within like 3 laps. Oh, bit of contact between these two. But from wet to damp, it took about 40 minutes, so most of the race. So, yeah, just maybe there was a lot of water on the track, more than usual. And I believe there's a lot of cloud coverage as well, so that's what caused that. There's a lot of cloud coverage here as well at Kyalami. Colin Brundle had a good opportunity there to get alongside Besselink. But he's going to get a good exit. Looks like the TC limited him slightly on the exit as well. We go back trackside between these two. It doesn't look like Colin Brundle is going to go for a move into turn 1 once again. Sherman's still behind, but he's lost a lot of time after being overtaken by these two. We go back to Jaroslav and Van Rooij coming up towards the final corner now. And the Porsche been able to hold on. SVW in our Discord server was saying it was Drive to Survive the SimZone version. It's definitely Drive to Survive with these conditions. But yeah, he is surviving very well at the moment, and Jaroslav really letting the brakes there into turn 1. He's going to be on the marbles, on the runoff, and that runoff really slippery with the paint on the exit as well, especially with it still being greasy, but he's held it together. Look how much time he's lost. It's about 1.5 seconds separating these two. 1.6, so close. But yeah, 1.6 separating these two. Cohen's still on the back of Viper. And let's go on board with Cohen for just a bit. We're into the oh, there we go, onto the final lap there for Edinomainen, who actually we haven't talked about at all. Apart from maybe lap 1, he's led such a dominant race. Yeah, in fact, only 10 seconds in front of Besselink, so I thought it would have been more. Especially with Besselink, Colin Brundle and Sherman battling for the entire race. And they're still battling now as we speak. Yeah, 10 seconds isn't a lot of time, but he's been quite dominant in this race. I'm not going to speak too soon because we've still got penultimate corner cheater to go. That's where we see a lot of crashes. But yeah, he has once again led another really good race. And looking at the standings, let's take a quick look. Edinomainen in P2 in the standings. He's going to finish ahead of, well, he should finish ahead of Colin Brundle if he doesn't make any mistakes. That's going to bring him closer to the championship lead. Can I switch drivers, please? This is my keyboard. I need to get it's a wireless one, so that's why I'm not letting us switch drivers properly. It's great. You have to do it with the controller, but yeah, Edinomainen coming up the final corner, coming up towards the final corner now, and he's going to take P1 here at Kyalami, round 6 of the championship. One more round to go after this, and he's going to be even closer to the championship win here, or the championship leader, Colin Brundle. But Besselink is going to hold on to P2, and he's going to cross the line there in P2. Colin Brundle in P3, Sherman in P4. What a race between those three. I think that was probably the battle of the season between these three. Amazing racing there. And Oli Arsar, after starting towards the back, is going to round the final corner and finish P5 here for Oli Arsar. Even a qualifying ban can't hold him back. And what a race, what a performance there from Ollie as well. SVW is going to just about hold on here on the exit of the final corner to finish P6, and a great performance from SVW as well. Jaroslav as well, a great performance from him. Walker, a good performance as well. Could have been bit higher up the order, but still P8. I'm sure he's happy with that in the end. Aston is going to round off the final corner to finish P9 as well. Bad to Bones in P10. So that rounds off the final, well, the top 10 here of this race. Viper's going to hold on to P11 as he crosses the line. Kerwin in P12. Fednad, a bit of a lap to go, with P-Mitch not too far behind either. But yeah, I was saying about BST NNA, he's only 39 points behind Colin Brander, and last time out his order finished P2. So another podium for BST NNA, and I believe his first win of the championship. But here we go, Fednad rounding the final corner to finish in P13, and P-Mitch in P14. So there we have it. Those are the results. BST NNA in P1, Besselink in P2, and Colin Brander in P3. Let's get the full results here as well. We have quite a few retirements this race. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drivers, unfortunately, retiring from the race. But yeah, these Kyalami, not an easy track whatsoever. Obviously catching out a few drivers with the conditions as well. Although it was pretty much dry for the most part. But we'll be back very shortly. We'll try and get some interviews with some of these drivers. So make sure to stick with us. So it looks like we're going to get some interviews here with some of the drivers as well. Let's have a quick read of the comments. GoPro saying great race, everyone. So let's get an interview here with Besselink. Cody, what a race from you! Unbelievable battling, man. I mean, from the start it was you, Sherman and Colin Brander all battling since the start. Even the pit stops didn't separate you guys, and in the end, of course, we had some rain in the end, and that spiced things up, but you were able to get the move done on Colin Brander to take P2. How are you feeling after that one?
First of all, yeah, I need to say thanks to both Melvin of Colin Brander and Scheuermann, Hooschii, for such an amazing race. So close but so clean. And it was all the way a hard battle, but it was awesome. Yeah, it felt really good, and it was, yeah, as I said, an amazing race.
Yeah, and in the championship, let's have a look where you are at the moment. Currently P3 in the championship, and not too far off of the top two either, especially with the drop rounds. They're going to be much closer to the top two, and with a P2 as well, that's going to bring you even closer. So last round though is next week, and that's at Indianapolis. So I know we haven't done that track in our league that much. Of course, this is only our second season on PS5. So yeah, how are you feeling going into next round?
Yeah, it's of course it's we did it. I believe we did it in the last season.
Yep.
Then I was quite confident with the McLaren. Now it's the BMW, so it's a complete different ball game. But we'll see what's happening and what will be happening, and then hopefully we can make a good show again.
Yeah, I mean, you're not feeling any pressure into going into the last round, of course, with it championship being so close. I mean, are you feeling any pressure or not? Really?
Of course, I want to do better than I did last season. Last season was P3, and of course I want to do better. But yeah, we'll see what happens, and if it's P3 or P4, I still had a solid season, and with some amazing driving from every driver in the SimZone.
Yeah, it's great racing. Before we go, adding in the comments saying, was the best link in the PS4 league? I believe you were, right?
Yeah, it was for 2 seasons, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just been... I don't remember anyone on PS4, or who's been on PS4 and who hasn't, but... yeah. Were you in Tier 1, Tier 2?
My second season I was in Tier 2.
Ah, yeah, I remember now. You drove the Honda once, didn't you?
Yeah, the Honda was Season 1, and I believe the McLaren was Season 2.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah,
it was great racing. So
yeah, congrats on the result, and great points as well for you. And we shall see you for next week.
yes, thanks for having me again, and thanks for a great race.
Yep, thanks. Take care. There we have it, ladies and gents. I believe that's the only interview we're gonna get for today, but make sure to join us tomorrow. We'll be live once again for the SimStock GT3 Championship, where we are at Mount Panorama, Bathurst. So we haven't been there for a while either, so we'll see how that goes. Adam's saying, is he actually Kimi Räikkönen? No, he's not Kimi Räikkönen. But with his performance out on track, he might as well be. But yeah, thanks for everyone for watching, and we'll be back tomorrow live at the same time, 8 PM GMT. Yeah, take care and good night.